What I enjoyed most about my PLO was working with the elderly population in a hospital setting, and basically it was really, really good because I was in a privileged position of being a student and able to spend a lot of time and listen to their stories, as opposed to my colleagues who couldn't do that because they were rushed off their feet. And I realised that they had loads of knowledge and just something they wanted to pass on to people, and it was really good just to sit and listen and talk with them, and I really, really enjoyed that. What I found most challenging about my PLO was I worked with an elderly woman who had come in to the hospital from home because she had dementia and she was very confused, and it was deemed she was a danger to return home, so she went to a residential home for a further period of assessment. Now this placement broke down, and it actually broke down when I went out to do my second direct observation. I had to work through a crisis intervention model, which was quite difficult, and she was readmitted back to the hospital to the dementia ward and then was later detained under the Mental Health Act. And I thought this was very challenging because it went against everything we'd been taught at university about partnership, anti-oppressive practice, about empowerment, and how can you empower someone in a situation where you need to use power, I suppose in a positive way, but it's still oppressive for her safety and for your duty of care. And I found that very difficult to come to terms with, and even though I do believe that the decision was the right decision to be made for her safety, it still conflicted the values that I was taught and the values that I hold within myself. What I found most stimulating about my PLO was I was working with an elderly woman who came into hospital who ended up contracting a virus, and she ended up paralysed from the waist down. Now, previous to the hospital, she drove her own car, she went and done her own shopping, completely independent, and now she was going to be paralysed for the rest of her life. So this was a complete change in her life and indeed her family's life, and their family were very, very good. So we put a package of care in place that would accommodate her to go home, and it was all to do with the family support and carers and everything being in place and set for her to go home, because it was going to be very, very difficult. And we had arranged the date, and the family also had time to take time off work and stuff for their mother coming home. But the doctors and the medical team work from a medical model, and once they see someone's fit, they just want to move them out of the hospital because they're under pressure to make bed space, and I can understand that. But things weren't right at home, so the social side of things weren't right for a safe and effective discharge from hospital. And it really, really highlighted to me the importance of advocating on someone's behalf and advocacy. And my role then was to challenge the decisions made by the doctors. And initially at the start, whenever I started placement, I wouldn't have done this, but this was towards the end when I got a bit more confident and let them know that, look, it's not safe for this lady to go home just yet. And that was fine. And the family actually bought me a box of chocolates to say, thank you for advocating on their behalf and letting the doctors know that, look, you need to just take a step back here and maybe see the social side of things. And I thought that was very, very, very good. And I shared the chocolates with everyone else in the staff team, and they were happy as well. One tip I would give to a student going to my type of PLO would be, on your first day at the nursing station, bring a notepad with you and see the nurses and the physios. They're all wearing different coloured clothes. Just write down what they are, because it took me at least a week to figure out who everybody was, and you feel a bit daft if you don't. So on that first day, just take a notepad and just note colour. Blue means nurse, green means physio, and blah, 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 and you get it, and you should be fine.